Does writing a memoir really I want to get into the process of it all. I mean, it is. How do you even begin doing that?
I have never written something that extensive before.
And you
so
did
I
it
didn't know where to
yourself.
begin. I could not have done it without my editor, Carrie at Hachette.
But no ghostwriter.
No ghostwriter. I wasn't opposed to doing that because I wanted it to be good. I wanted to do my story justice, and I was like, I don't know that I can do it. But I tried. I wanted to give myself the chance to try because you'll never know if and sometimes you need to fail tremendously. And I was like, let me just give myself the friggin' chance. So what I did was I wrote out 100 stories that I remembered, even just a few sentences, starting from my earliest memory all the way up to my memory that was at that point when I was going to start thinking about writing a book. And I took a month to do that. And I just had these different touchstones of about 100 different stories. And then I presented it to my literary agent. That was a part of my the agency that I'm signed to. There was a department for literary stuff. And I was like, what do you think about this? Is this even something that could be a thing? And I wrote a little mission statement about the book. And she was like, I think this could be a thing. So let's bring it to some people. And honestly, if it weren't for Jennette McCurdy's book, because us being, the same age, I wouldn't have had the audacity to think that it was an even okay time to share my story because I'm still only a baby. but I was just I thought that people wrote memoirs at a different stage in their life, but she helped me reframe it of being I actually do have a lot to share, and I don't need to wait till I'm in my 50s or 60s.
Sis, you've been doing this for...
so long.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you look up and it's it's been approximately 100 years.
I mean, you've made history. You've also ridden through culture through so many different ways. I mean, it's true.
Just riding the waves.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we'll get into. I mean, people don't realize fully that you were doing Taylor's version when it was JoJo's version years and years and years ago. I mean, there's so many things that you've been a part of. Also, so many cultural touchstones that exist. I mean, really, you're a very special person.
That's so nice.
So to write a book at this stage makes sense. But can you describe the process of sitting there and triggering your memory to even generate 100 stories? And maybe it's just because I've smoked way too much weed at this point in my life. How do you do it?
I actually don't know how I have any brain cells left either because I've done so many weird things. And I definitely went through my weed era. I'm just not in it right now.
I'm blessed.
Okay. But I was in a disciplined era because I was doing Broadway at the same time. It was my first time ever doing a musical on Broadway.
And by the way, 8 shows a week.
So I was in the discipline of okay, this is what you do. And I had already kind of found a rhythm with doing the show. So I would give myself, sometimes I'd carve out 3 hours a day where I would just put my phone in another room and it would just be me at the laptop. Sometimes I do the Pomodoro method, which is 25 minutes, and then you take a few minutes break, and then you do another 25 minutes. But basically, I've just been thinking a lot about commitment in the past couple years and about my commitment even to a vision or my commitment to, if I'm going for a note, I'm just going to commit to it, even if I don't reach it or even if I crack, just about the nature of commitment. So I'm committing to these 25 minutes. We'll see what happens. That's actually not even I don't even know if, I might not write 10 pages today. I might not write a chapter today, but I'm committed to doing these 3 hours and seeing what happens. Because when you sit down and you're focused and you're not fragmented, that's when things can start coming through. So there's that. But then I also interviewed people in my life. Like Katie, who we were just talking to, who's my manager. She
just gives vibes that she's been with you a long time.
She has. She worked at, we met at the first label I was signed to. And so we've known each other since I was a teenager.
How special.
And it's super special. So I asked her for, what does she remember? So it could jog my own memory. My mom, old publicists, friends, family, executives, radio people. I sat down and I put out my phone voice notes, and I was just like, how do you remember it? Because it's helpful. And I trusted myself to with my own memories too, but I just wanted more like context and information because, I don't know, it was a long time ago with some of these stories. And then some of them are more recent. But yeah, I was learning on the job. And that's what I've been doing my whole life, actually, is just throwing myself into a situation and being like, I'd like to do this. I don't know how to do it, but maybe I'll learn on the way.
I was wondering where like challenge and commitment overlap, right? Because they have to be like, these things that you're committing to are definitely a challenge. And very much like, you got to learn as you go. Even Broadway. Like,
yes.
Your whole life as a performer doesn't necessarily set you up to tackle Broadway.
No.
Because you don't even, like, you don't know what you're getting. People who start there
are conditioned in a certain way.
100%.
I was looking for, I actually, again, I kind of had a dream of being involved in musical theater again. That's where I got my start as a kid. When I was 6 years old, I played Tommy in The Who's Tommy in our local production in Massachusetts. And I had a dream a few years ago of reconnecting with that part of myself, of being a part of a company, a community, of doing musical theater again. I love it so much. I'd started to watch a ton of shows, and I was just like, I think the best performers do musical theater, and I want to be around the best performers. I want to sharpen myself. I want to grow.
Because you'll rise.
I believe that. I think we do rise.
Oh, dude, you are the company you keep.
So I was like, I want to be around these people that do it all and do it like at this level. And I was like, if I get the opportunity, I'm really going to sink my teeth into it. So the opportunity came, but the truth is my spirit was just longing for structure. I wanted to go to I wanted to like have a job that, there's just so much uncertainty in the music industry. From a young age, I was so used to instability and uncertainty. And I think part of me really wanted to show up to the same place every day, see the same people, and have a sense of community. And I thrived in it.
It's really special.
Yeah, I think my nervous system wanted it, and it is special. I mean, you guys have that. You see each other all the time. I mean, I don't know how that is, but I don't know if you like it. But you know what I mean?
No, but people take it for granted, right?
Yeah, I bet.
And your community is, your manager.
Yes. I mean, I have my team, and they're amazing and priceless, but it is different when I'm not paying the people on Broadway. We're all just as, they're not getting a percentage or stuff like that. Like, we're all weird kids who are finding solace in each other because we have all been a little bit different and all love this thing. And it was just really a beautiful experience.
And you're in it together to put on a show. And the responsibility in that moment is like make that, like there's somebody in that audience who has never seen that show before, even though you've done it 8 other times just in the last week.
So be fresh for the person who's needing an escape and who's never seen the story that you're about to show.
Yes.